Hello and welcome, lovely Ophiuchus. Thank you for joining me today. Today we are doing a full moon reading to see what's coming up in the next cycle. So thank you for joining me. If you haven't subscribed yet, or I'd really be grateful if you did. Thanks for joining me, and let's see what the guides have to say about what's coming up for you. All right, let's grab some cards and see what's in store. Okay. Got. All right. Upside down, we have Unfinished Symphony, reversed, and we have Between Worlds. Okay, what else are they asking me to look at? Here we go. I'm going to have a look at these. Okay, we've got two coming up, and we're having Sleeping Beauty. It says Awakening, and we also have the Day Boy and the Night Girl, Balance. So you'll see the cycles coming up. All right, and yes, these ones as well. Just for starting off with our oracle cards, and then we'll move on to our tarot. Okay, we have the Staff, and I'm going to there for us, and I've also got the Earth. I think these cards are upside down, so I'm just going to show you that, the Earth. All right, so today what I'm getting here is, I feel like the message for this full moon is this isn't the time to tie off loose ends. This isn't the time to make your final decisions about a project. This is there's still things that need to be left to be completed, and now is not the right time to make those final decisions about the new beginning you want to make. I feel like this is a time of more of reflection and contemplation. I feel like the new beginning is rising rather than but coming rather than here. So I feel like they're saying to I'm getting hold back on your timing. Don't make your final decisions about things, and just take your time with things. If anyone is, preparing to make that big decision, just make sure that, just hold back a little bit and make sure that you have all the information. Don't sign any big documents. Just make sure that you've got, just saying all the information. I feel like, there's still a transition phase going. And they're saying it is like the between the two worlds. So you're still really opening up. And I'm also seeing you are still learning about who you are. And you're not quite, you're just discovering who you are and where you want to go. And you're not quite sure what that end destination is quite yet. So they want you to be sure before you really plough forward. So they're asking you to work further within yourself. Some of you have still, they're saying, veiled eyes about certain people. There are certain people in your sphere that perhaps are not being overly honest with you, and perhaps have not been, let's say, they're not there for your best intentions. And they said your perception is changing about who is there for your benefit rather than their own, but you're still not quite there. So that's why they're asking you to take your time with making these decisions, because you're still sort of awakening to new perceptions of what the reality is of people that are in your sphere at the moment. And that's why, yep, they're still giving me the awakening, the sleeping beauty. So I feel like they're showing me like a fairy dropping dew onto your eyes and giving you the sight. So it's like you've been looking at things very differently, and now you see the world quite differently, and you've taken a different look. And some people that you thought were there for, you know, your best interest, you realised were there for a totally different reason, and others who perhaps were in the background actually were there for better purposes and had a lot more to give. I'm also getting sleep. So I don't know if this is about dreaming, or people are having some intuitions in their dreaming. Some of them are for telling, you know, these people aren't to be trusted, and some of them are telling you about what you'll be seeing yourself moving forward to in the future. I feel like a connection with an intuition where you actually dream of future events. So that might be you that I'm resonating with. This reading is definitely for you. Okay, so with the new moon coming in, they're saying just be careful of picking up on other people's moods and sensitivities. You are very quick to react, but often, sometimes, it's not your emotion that you're picking up. It's not you that's working through your own emotion. It's actually somebody else's, because you're empathetic and you're actually picking up on people's surrounding vibes. And so they're saying just be careful of other cycles and how easily influenced you can be by others' emotions, not necessarily by what they're saying, but because you're empathetic, you're picking up on their body rhythms and their biorhythms and their energetic fields. And they're just saying, make sure that, you know, protect yourself, and especially with loved ones, you don't realise that you just have this natural connection and you want to be connected with them, but you also don't need that roller coaster. You know, you've got your own roller coaster going. You're very excited, and you know, you've got such a strong spirit. But you want to know that the emotion's yours, not somebody else's, and that something that's triggering you it's triggering you rather than someone else is being triggered and you're just picking up on their energy. So they're just giving that as your message. Okay, so we've got the staff. Now, when I look at this, I'm seeing like a giraffe. I'm seeing a giraffe, and I'm seeing like the giraffe head, and I know it's a skull, and it's antlers and things, but they're showing me like raising your head above the crowd and looking beyond what others are looking at for the future, and you know, planting the seed to grow for where you're moving forward to. I feel like this is the time to start seeding the ground. They're just saying seed the ground for what you want to create, and they said it's okay to put a lot of seeds out because they're not all going to germinate, and they're certainly not going to all germinate at once. But if you don't put that seed in the ground, you're not going to ever get any results. You need to you know, search out, and I'm just getting drawn to this. I believe it's turquoise. They're telling me turquoise, and it's about you know, intuition and inner knowledge, and really seeking your higher self, and working through that to really look beyond and look above where you're going and what you're doing, and really seeking to find what's important to you for your future, and which direction you're meant to be in, rather than where you perhaps were going in the past. I do feel like there's a lot of earth energy around you at the moment. There's also a plane flying overhead. That doesn't help me at all. But they're wanting you to really ground yourself. And I believe the seeds, what was actually to actually go out and put your hands in dirt and plant seeds. Some of you are already doing that. I feel like some of you, I'm getting beehives as well. So I don't know if any of you are beekeepers or anything have anything to do with bees. So if that's you, then this is your message. Or maybe you have, bees are, a symbol that you really connect with. But I feel like even that really strong work ethic I'm getting from a bee that you really resonates with you, but going out and really working hard in the soil or in some capacity where you're growing something. So it might not necessarily be, if you're in a cold climate that, it's not necessarily now that you can do that. But even if you've got a little window box where you can germinate some seeds and watch them grow, and like a house plant that you can just watch and nurture, that will give you a lot of joy and a lot of connection back to the earth, and a lot of shared energy that will really benefit you at this time. Okay, let's see what else we have for you for this full moon for Ophiuchus. What messages do we have for the lovely Ophiuchus for this full moon, which I believe is January the 28th. And here we go. So we have Two of Needles. We have the Eight of Presents, and we've got the Seven of Presents. So I feel like there is a connection, a sort of a love connection that I feel like you have been working a lot harder than perhaps the other person. You've been really working and focusing on giving a lot of yourself and a lot of your time into this relationship. And I feel like it's not necessarily a love connection either. It could be a partnership in a business, but whatever it is, they're telling me that you are putting a lot more energy and a lot more thought into this relationship and things than you're getting back. And what their message is perhaps it's time for you to pull back a little bit on this relationship, and it's time for them to put up. Look, they're not going to put in as much effort as you do, and this is what, the lesser of the presents, but they still, in their own way, can give you more of themselves. And I feel like by taking back some of your own energy and some of your own space, maybe doing things a little bit at your own leisure or your own time rather than in their time frame, is what I'm getting. It might be actually wake them up a little bit and shake them up to realise that they were taking a little bit of advantage of the situation and that it was their time to step up. Now, I'm not saying that they're all going to do this, but I feel like a lot will feel the imbalance and the injustice of it, and will actually step forward and put more of an effort in once they realise that you're pulling back, you're very giving, so you're very much, you want to succeed and you want to make people happy, but it's time that you're you're overdone, and it's time for them to step up. And the only way that they're going to really get that message is if you step back, so they have to do it. Okay, we have 10 of Potions. So yeah, they're just saying it's time to they're not going to change without you changing as well. You have to change your behaviour before anybody else will change theirs around you, because you need to know that someone's treating you well, and for them to treat you well, you have to know that you deserve to be treated well. So it's a choice that you have to make to say, well, I'm going to step back because I deserve more attention, more respect than that, and you know, they have to sort of step up. So this is about sort of claiming what you have the right to claim, which is, you know, a bit more of bit more evenness, a bit more, you know, don't be the one that's always doing the work and pulling all the heavy burden. Make others step up. So if you step back and know what your worth is, then others will have to, you know, start pulling their own weight. All right, well, I guess that's what I have for you this full moon. Just make sure, the guides are saying, you know, make sure the energy that you're feeling and you're reacting to is your own, and work through that. And yeah, just don't let others take advantage of you. And if you have decisions to be made, just make sure that you really read that fine print and make sure you know, take things slowly, and maybe get some plants or something you can watch grow and nurture, and that will really help you learn to nurture yourself. All right, well, thank you so much again for joining me. And if you haven't already, if you could subscribe, like, comment, I'd be so grateful. And thanks again. Hope to see you again very soon.